Welcome back to another day in the market, and this is Money Wire Work, where we talk about everything money. And today we're going to cover some key factors to see where the market is headed, and there's some really interesting stuff. So if you like this content, please make sure to hit the like button. It's the easiest way to help out the channel. If you want to see more of this content, hit the notification bell and turn that subscription on so you can see all of my latest content. So today, just getting right into it, we're going to cover some really important things regarding the stock market. Then we're going to finish up and take a look at the stock market from the S&P 500 perspective. We're also going to cover SOFI, and then we're going to have a little fun today on this Friday. We're going to cover Dogecoin and see how all right, first things first, dumb money reported last August 30th 2023, you had 0.51%. You can translate that to 52 or 51 rather, which is neutral. We are not super high as far as dumb money getting into the market, not super low as far as dumb money completely selling off. With that said, you will notice that this is a pretty stark downturn from July 30th, 2023, when dumb money was at 82, which would have correlated more with a greedy sentiment. Now, what do we learn from this? Just real quick, is dumb money will often chase the stock price and not the other way around. Smart money will often lead the price because they are the big whales. They are the big guys that can actually control the stock market. So you can see a couple examples here where dumb money was selling off while the price of the stock market was selling off. And then once it had already recovered and began to recover, that's where you can start to see the dumb money flow back in. You can also see in 2020 the same thing. So technically, if dumb money was smart money, this would have been inverted and you would have seen a high spike right here at the lowest point of the price of the stock. The fear and greed index. So right here, you can see 52. That again is neutral. We are not super overbought. We're not super greedy. We're not super fearful, or trailing right around that area. Now, there's a couple very important things to point out. The first thing is that the fear and greed index is currently showing some pretty strong support lines on an uptrend, suggesting that this could be a continuation to the upside. If you had bought at these low points, you would have done fairly well, even if in the short term, like for example, right here, if you bought right here, you would have been red pretty slightly, but you actually would have went green here. Would have been a rocky road for a little while, but you would be sitting pretty good right now, and you could either be holding your pretty green bag or you could be selling it as the market took this little bit of a downturn and sort of broke its trend. So where do we see this going? Well, it is pretty volatile, and we could see a spike way down to the downside, like something right like this over here, where we had a shoot high up pretty quick and then a fall to the downside. But it does look to be showing a support line. So going and taking a look at the S&P 500 technical indicators, we will show that it is actually supporting, and a lot of indicators actually supporting that this is just a temporary downturn. However, if you follow this channel, we talked about the S&P 500 weighted with the money supply, and you will notice if you take a look at that, they were at a pretty big resistance line right there, and then that alone could cause the market to sort of take a pretty big tumble, which this then could then head pretty much lower. And finally, we have the put to call ratio. So when the ratio is over 1, there is more puts into the market than calls. When it is below, the opposite is true. So where are we at right now? Well, we're at 106. So just slightly in the puts favor. And that is as of Friday, August 18th, 2023. You can notice not too shortly before that, July 18th, which was a Tuesday of 2023, we were at 0.85. So the sentiment has very recently changed, and we will keep an eye on that to see whether or not that continues. But as of right now, overall, according to the put to call ratio, we are beginning to have a little bit of a bearish leg down. All right, so the S&P 500, we're going to start on the monthly and just zero down real quick. So you can see there is a little bit, if we zoom in, just a little bit of a resistance right here. There was a lot of trading going on. Looks like we did shoot past that and then are coming back to retest it. But let's go down to the daily, because earlier what I was talking about, voice crack, wow. Let me try that again. Earlier, what I was talking about was all indicators are showing, at least for our setup, that this is a continuation to the upside and that this was a little bit of a breather. So let me just show you right now what I mean by that. And so let's just run down the checklist real quick. So what we want to have is we want to have this 7 simple moving average above this yellow 25 period exponential moving average. It's hard for you to tell, but take my word for it. We have that. It's very slight, and it actually, we have that as of really today. They were crossing yesterday, just like the MACD line, which we'll get to in a second. But we really actually just have that today. This green triangle right here actually just symbolizes the MACD crossing above and below the zero line. So it's green when it crosses above. It's red when it crosses down below. So we want to have that green if we are going to go long, which we do, which again, just knocking it down, we have that right here. We want to be above this market bias indicator. It is the Heikin-Ashi market bias indicator, which we do. I have this 200 period moving average, simple moving average right here, but that does not need to be up for our traditional setup. Taking a look at the support and resistance on the RSI. So we want to see the RSI acting, we want to see this moving average acting as a support if we are going to go long with the RSI, and we want the RSI to be above the zero line. So far, we have all that. We have not back tested this yet, which is what I do think is going to occur in the next, I don't know, maybe this is on the daily, maybe the next week or so. And then we have this Trendillo. Again, I've said this in the past. I am still studying how to use it. It seems like a pretty nice indicator, so I am still studying it, and I'm throwing it on my indicators so that I can watch it. Essentially, it is very similar to the RSI, the MACD. This line, this gray line right here, you want to have above its zero line, which it is. And that is going up towards the green, which is what you want if you're going long. Really anything over beyond that, I don't know too much about this indicator, other than, it tends to be where I've just noticed myself. Tends to stay green a lot longer when you are above this market bias indicator, and it tends to be red a lot longer when you are below it, which makes sense. So it kind of works very nicely with it. So that's the S&P 500. All these indicators are showing that it is good to go long. I did get long on TQQQ for a couple of days, and I ended up taking about, I think, like an 8% profit. It's selling out of that, and I have just a SPY one share of the S&P 500 right now on my trading account just to watch this, because again, going to my previous video, we talked a lot about cyclical and seasonal rotations in the stock market. There's a lot of indications on the monthly showing that the S&P 500 is going to head lower when it's weighted for the money supply. With that said, all systems are go when it comes to our trade setup. So I'm a little torn right now. Who knows? I'll keep you updated if things change. But for now on, let's move on to SOFI. And we are taking a look at this stock because it has done pretty well very recently. Back in June, which is only a couple months ago, it was $6.91. It reached a high of $11.39, which is almost double the stock. So what are we looking for right now? If we want to enter this, there's a couple good things about it. For one, it has not been above the market bias indicator for a very long time. So the fact that this has now crossed above it and is now holding is a very, very good sign. And this is on the daily, by the way. So we're going to zoom out a little bit and we'll show you that we probably have a little bit more ways to go than what a lot of people are thinking. This is a stock that is currently trending as far as the tradosphere. That's a good word. I'm gonna keep using that. As far as the tradosphere, this is getting some attention. Okay, it's trending all the like, which is actually really good to use for trading. Just a nice little tip. Use Google Trends, kind of help you find stocks. Anyway, we have a nice little high up here, nice little downturn, a little bit of a nice consolidation, and now we're back above the moving averages. With that said, we do not have the blue moving average above the yellow one as of yet, so we want to wait for that. And we also do not have the MACD line crossing above this zero line yet. We do have the support right here for the RSI. Let's just bring that up. Although we have not tested it yet, so that would be good, really good to test, and maybe buying off of that bounce. Let's just bring up the Trendillo. We are approaching this zero line. We are not there yet. I know these lines are important. I don't know what they mean yet. So let's just be clear about that. I don't know much about this indicator yet. It just looks like it could be helpful. So I'm trying to learn it. And let's move on to the big old Dogecoin. Why am I bringing up Dogecoin? Let's get over to crypto so I can bring it up here. Just for the heck of it, because it is Friday. I actually have no particular reason on it. Wow. Okay. Well, that's similar to what I did earlier in this video. So, all right. Well, anyways, never seen that before. Anyways, there is some news. Dogecoin gains 0.60 to 0.064 at 5 p.m. That doesn't seem significant at all. There is an analysis for September 1st. I'm not going to read through all this. It doesn't really seem like anything's crazy, and it doesn't seem like anything has really moved it at all. With that being said, we can see that we're on a pretty big support line here. Here's the thing about Dogecoin. This is when everyone bought, right? And the people that made a ton of money on this bought back here, okay? Now, if you look back here, let's just turn log. Actually, no. Should we turn log on? Yeah. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it so that you can really see here. You can see here, there was some support. It was kind of just trading sideways. They had all these random spikes, which I guess you could have taken advantage of. But the people that really made the money in this, and even in this, were the people that just ticking along, waiting, being patient. And it looks like we're kind of back at that. We have these random spikes. We're just kind of hanging along the market bias indicator, slowly trending down, really. So this is one of those where you're just going to put some money in. You don't care if you lose that money. And if and when it pops, because I do think it will pop again, I don't think we're going to maybe get back to that 74 cents high. If it doubles, I mean, that's double everything you got in there. So this is not bet the farm. This is not bet the farm, okay? But it is bet and wait. We're at a clear floor. Now, this floor could fall out. Dogecoin could go to zero right now. I mean, who's using Dogecoin? No idea. And also, some time ago, I read an article where one wallet holds 60 to 80% of Dogecoin. So if that guy starts deciding to dump, if it is just a person, the whole coin is going to collapse. So this is a buy and just see. This is a buy and maybe, okay? So that's all I have for you. That is the overall market. That is the S&P 500. That is SOFI, and that is Dogecoin on this wonderful, beautiful Friday. Thank you for watching. Once again, if you're still watching at the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do me one more favor and just hit the like button, because it'll send this out to a lot more people so that they see it. I just encourage you to hit the subscription bell and hit the notification bell so that you can see all of my latest content. Until then, we'll see you next time. Thank you.